Welcome back to the Forensics Detailing channel, comboing Sonax Brilliant Shine Detailer with P&S Beadmaker to try and get the best of both worlds. We're going to mix them together in this video and see if it's any good. Welcome back to the channel, guys. So Sonax BSD, perhaps the most durable, hydrophobic detail spray / spray sealant on the market. Downsides are grippy to spread a little bit gloopy, and a little bit of a rough finish, not a smooth, silky finish. P&S Beadmaker, virtually the exact opposite. Again, a spray sealant primarily that people use similar to a detail spray that is known for a very good glossy finish, but with a really nice, smooth, silky feeling that, you know, everyone can notice. It's nice. So what people want to know is, if I take this one here and mix this one here, do I get the best of both worlds, or do I get the worst of both worlds? And that's what we're trying to tackle in this video. So quite simply, guys, I've taken 50% BSD, 50% Beadmaker, mixed them all together, given them a good shake, applied them to a clean panel on my car, the wing primarily, and I've played around with the bonnet as well. Just sprayed them on top. I haven't stripped it or anything like that. I haven't used any sort of panel wipes or degreasers. There's existing products kicking around on here that are, you know, probably a couple of weeks old or something, because they're typically topper products, so it's just going straight on top of whatever is on there. First up, mixing the products together. Sonax BSD, very gloopy, very thick. Beadmaker, very kind of loose, very runny, just like kind of water, if you like. First thing is, they seem to mix together, and I gave them a shake, and there was a slightly, it's basically okay. They've not separated or anything like that. They look like you can mix them and they're soluble with each other. And it's a slightly less gloopy version of Sonax BSD, which has gone a pukey, one's blue, one orange, and it's now like a pukey brown, and it's a bit thinner than the BSD. Secondly, application. When I spray it through a normal spray trigger that atomises quite well, because it's quite gloopy, it seems it's not quite as misty as the product normally comes out of this, and that's down to Sonax BSD. So it's quite a hard product to sort of atomise lightly on the panel. It's always quite heavy and sticky, and the 50-50 mix is still quite heavy and gloopy. Now the first thing I notice is, normally when I apply a detail spray, when you spray it onto the panel, then work it over with a microfiber. What I want to see is typically the product, usually there's a bit of product hazing, and you can see as you cover it over that particular panel, you know you've got the coverage because you can see the product. As I was trying to kind of spread this over the panel, it wasn't spreading like I wanted it to, like Beadmaker normally does when I would use it. So I found myself spraying more onto the microfiber to try and just so I could see the product spreading, and I couldn't. It was a bit weird. It's like almost picking it up. I think it's a symptom of the gloopiness of BSD, but when I use BSD on its own, I can still spread it and see that hazing, and then get that second cloth and buff it. So there was something a little bit weird with the application. I thought, oh, it hasn't properly worked here. But anyway, after buffing it back with the second microfiber, panel looked fine, panel looked decent, you know, there was no smudges, no real streaky issues. I just didn't think it had covered it well. Felt the panel, and actually I could feel, it's quite hard to describe, because even when you apply Beadmaker out and buff it, it usually feels really silky smooth. It didn't feel really silky smooth, but it felt better than it did when you just applied Beadmaker. I can really, BSD, so it felt okay. I just applied Sonax BSD on the top, so I could feel that, and definitely without the Beadmaker it was a little bit stickier. So I then left it for about 4 hours just to settle down, because Beadmaker is a product which on its own would then go on and cure and harden. And after 4 hours I've come back, and normally what you'll see with Beadmaker is it's even kind of, it feels just great, you know, on that application. It feels really sticky. sorry, when I come back, the actual panel feels more like Sonax BSD. It doesn't feel great like I'd want from Beadmaker. But I can now, when I poke water at that panel 4 hours later, I see very good water performance like I would get with Brilliant Shine Detailer. So in very simple terms, guys, when I come back later on and look at that panel, it's almost like it is if I'd have just applied Sonax on its own. It's quite repellent. The panel looks fine. I can't see any like marks with the product. Wasn't expecting that. But the thing that I haven't got is that lovely, nice, silky, smooth panel with Beadmaker. And the area where I've applied BSD on its own feels more or less the same to me. A little bit more sticky, but not enough that it would make any difference. So I'm going to go on and wrap up my conclusions on this stuff, guys. Lots of people just sort of want to combo products together like this, and people tell me they combo this together with other detail sprays and get good results. Well, it seems to kind of work. They're all probably water soluble, water carried, so they'll probably mix together. But do I recommend you kind of mix and cocktail products together? No, I just don't. I just don't see the point of it, guys. It's not a definitive thing. It's just my opinion. If you want to try it, go ahead. The reason is the chemistry of the products and the materials that they're using. You don't know if they're fully compatible. Like I say with Beadmaker, it's designed to cure and harden. You know, with a specific material that they've used and developed, and then they've put all of the carriers that are appropriate to that, and it's a formulation that's designed to be used a certain way. And then, for example, you could go and lump into that mix whatever material that Sonax are using here, that, you know, in there, a load of silicone or God, whatever it is at high concentration, and you're going to affect the function of Beadmaker if you do that. You're going dangerously off-piste, and you're basically you're negating all of the development work that has been done in these products, which may or may not be that much, but you know, this is quite unique, isn't it? So they've gone out and built a product that's quite good, and there's a development process involved, and you've just thrown a big spanner in the works of that machine. The net result is typically that it will probably work, but I don't know, it just isn't for me, guys. It's just you've got to trust the kind of formulations of the products you're using, and you use them and you pick the ones that you like. I think when you start mixing them together, it might be great, you know, who knows. But in this instance, for me, it's not great anyway. They don't quite spread as well. I don't think I'm getting the best of both worlds. I think I've probably ruined Beadmaker, and it's not able to cure and do its thing because there's all this silicone mixed in with it. And as a net result, I'm really just seeing the hydrophobic effect of the materials that are in BSD, and some of the surface characteristics of those materials being sticky. Still, you know, slightly sticky. Sticky's not the right word, but you know what I mean. It's not silky. So have I got the best of both worlds from comboing Beadmaker with Sonax BSD? No. Have I got the worst of both worlds? Not really. I think I've got some of the benefits of BSD, but at the price of ruining or not being able to exhibit all of the cool things about Beadmaker. I would not combo these two products together. If you ask me what my personal favourite is out of these two products, it's Beadmaker all day long for me. I really respect Sonax BSD, and it won the shootout test, and it's so potent. It will outperform lots of sealants and stuff like that. Really impressive materials. But I just prefer this product. I just like using it more. I like working it over the panels and feeling that slickness come back. So I just prefer this one. But everyone's got horses for courses, guys. I get so much feedback when I do all these videos, and I understand why this is so popular, and that's why it won that particular shootout, because of the things that I can measure. So it's whatever you want, guys. This was a video on comboing them, and it's not for me. And finally, guys, as always, if you've comboed any particular products together, what are your thoughts on it? Did you get good results? What products did you combo together? Why? What were you looking to get out of each one? Have you ever comboed stuff where you've had a complete disaster? Any stories around comboing or any combos you use, I'll be interested to hear, guys. So thanks very much for watching the video, and I'll see you soon on the Forensics Detailing channel. Bye for now.
Holding on to what I knew, but the moment's gone. Where was I when you